Hey everyone, this is Ellie, and here is your tarot message using the Major Arcana. And this message is for the month of May in this year 2016. So, if you'd like to engage in this exercise, please pick a number from 1 to 3, and you could just take a moment and pause the video even if you'd like to just check in with yourself and choose the number. And so what I'm doing is using the Major Arcana, which deals with abstract big concepts, and they are quite spiritual concepts. They deal with things that are on a more spiritual plane versus the Minor Arcana, which deals with things on a more everyday life material plane. But today, actually, what I'm doing is I'm also pulling a card from the Minor Arcana to enhance the Major Arcana card and to basically describe in what way this may be significant for your life on the material plane, how it may be playing out for you or significant for you in your life, in your everyday life. Okay, so if you're ready, let's begin. And so let's start with number 1. Number 1, the card for you is number 13, the Death card. And today I'm using the Marseille deck. And interestingly, in the Marseille, they don't give a name to this deck. They just call it number 13. And number 13 is an esoteric number. It is linked to the Divine Feminine, and it is also linked to unexpected changes, unexpected events. And the Death card is also very much about transformation. So, speaking of unexpected events, some of you may be experiencing that, and that may have to do with the theme of transformation. But definitely, even if you don't have an unexpected event, there is definitely the word transformation is key here. And this is a process though. It's probably something that's gradual rather than something overnight. And this, because it's probably a gradual change, then this is a deep one. It gets into the root, you know? So it's very powerful. So you are advised, if you've picked this card, to focus on this theme of change. And I feel that also this is about clearing. Actually, let me read for you. I have a list here of some keywords, and these might apply for you this month, and these might be things for you to just contemplate. So, in-depth transformation, revolution, elimination of that which impedes progress, end of an illusion, transmutation. Okay, so the end of something, I forgot, there's more here. The end of something, destruction, the work of the subconscious. So I mentioned deep change, right? And then clearing the ground. So, especially because the card that goes with this is the Two of Swords, I do feel like this is, in a sense, destructive, but actually in a good way. And it's about clearing. And this card, the Two of Swords, has also been called peace. So I have this image in my mind of a storm, clearing things away, and then clearing the air, washing things. And so I see this change being a destructive force in a way, but ultimately being this deep change and transformational change that actually will bring peace to you in some kind of way. And also because this is too, there is something somewhat balancing or stabilizing for you about this. All right, so for the Death card, maybe some questions you want to ask yourself is using the theme of, for example, transmutation. Is there something that you could transmute in your life? For example, one positive form of transmutation would be taking a painful past experience and seeing what ways you could grow from that in a positive way, or what lessons you could take from that, or using the lessons that you use to serve your life purpose and also to help and serve others. I would advise, think about what transformation is going on in your life, or what transformation needs to go on in your life. Think about what needs to be ended, what needs to be destroyed, what needs to be cleared and let go of. So yeah, those are some tips of things to think about this month, perhaps. Okay? So if you've picked number 2, the card for you is La Lune. And this is a French deck, so it's in French, it means the moon here. And the moon is about several things. It's that maternal energy, and so it does have the theme of pregnancy, fertility, and this could be literal or this could be figurative. So for some of you, this could be about literal pregnancy and fertility, but for some of you, this may be more figurative about what you are creating in your life, what you are pregnant with in your life, what seeds you are planting. This also has to do with deep things like the subconscious. Perhaps paying attention to your dreams this month would be really good for you, so that you could be aware of what is going on within your subconscious. I'm also getting, because this can be about illusion, this could be about fear, so it can be about some of the shadow aspects of the moon, where again, it could be about illusion or fear. So maybe addressing those shadows. What are you afraid of? Is there something that is not true? Some kind of illusion that you have been embracing that has not been serving you. And the card that I picked with this is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles to me is like a seed, like planting a seed into the earth and manifesting something, materializing something. So I think with these two together, some question to ask yourself is, what are you subconsciously manifesting? So again, this card is about motherhood and pregnancy and fertility, right? So again, there might be some subconscious things that you are creating in your life, and maybe it's good to ask yourself, and maybe even again observe your dreams. They may give you some hints. Tarot readings are also really good for exploring that. So if you read tarot for yourself, you could ask, what am I subconsciously creating? Or you could receive a tarot reading from someone else, or just earnestly looking at yourself. Looking at your shadows may help for you as well, doing shadow work for some of you if you're interested in that. And seeing how maybe your shadows may be limiting you in terms of what you're creating in your life as well. And that might be tied in with, fear and illusion, those themes that are linked with the moon card. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's complete, your message for you. If you've picked card number 3, the card for you is L'Amoureux. So this is a French deck, and this is basically, it's the lovers. And here's Cupid shooting his arrow down below to the lovers here. And actually, before I even turned over these cards, I had the impression that this was a very spiritual message. I mean, all of these are, especially because we're dealing primarily with the Major Arcana as a focus here, but I felt like this was so much about one's spiritual journey. So if you picked number 3, I feel like this is about your mind, the realm of the mind, and mastery of the mind particularly. and about choices. The Lovers is often about choices, and it is also about the theme of duality, which I think is a big message here, focusing on the theme of duality. The card that I picked with this is the King of Swords, the Roi de Paix here, and swords have to do with the realm of the mind. The Lovers is associated with the astrological sign Gemini, the twins too, right? And Gemini is very much about thought, communication, and things like that. So the sword is a double-edged sword, so there we have duality there, and the sword separates, right? So essentially, duality really is an illusion, and we all essentially are one, but we live in this reality and this existence of duality, and we are working within that, creating within that, and learning through the experience of duality, expanding and exploring through the experience of duality. And mastering the mind is quite a spiritual initiation, or a key to spiritual growth, you could say. And so I see the duality here being represented as crossroads and two paths that could be taken, and I feel that this is about one way of thinking that is more limiting, or negative or disempowering, or thinking in another way that is more beneficial, empowering, and freeing. And so it's so easy for us to have the mind have power over us. And so it really is a process of initiation for us to have mastery over our minds, and to realize that we are not our minds, right? Our mind could really be a tool for us. So mastering the mind, using the mind in a way that will really be powerful for you, rather than having the mind take the reign and also fall into limiting thought patterns and things like that. So I feel like that's very, very powerful, very, very important. Mastery of the mind and choices in the way that you think is the message here for number 3. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. And so it is.